Hi everyone, I'm gonna show you guys how I usually do my nails when I want the quote-unquote perfect smile line. I'm gonna be using the practice finger because I currently have my nails done and I don't want to take them off yet. So let's get started. So first of all, I have my nail tip, which I've measured to make sure it fits. Okay, and so what I do, I start off by decorating the nail tip. Okay, I know this is probably not like the best way to do it, but this is the way I do it to, like I said, to get that perfect smile line. Okay, so I grab my nail tip, and then I'm going to be using my mix Plumeria from this last glitter swap that I hosted. So here it is. I'm going to start, and I'm going to determine how long or how short I want my nail tip to be. Bear with me, this is a kind of chunky mix. Okay, I don't want it too long or too short, more of a medium length. Okay, so I will decorate my tip. Again, I want to reiterate, I am not professional. This is just my way of doing nails. My nails sometimes I don't, unless I use the reverse method. So I just try to keep this area clean right here. So then when I put it on the nail, it's not hard to put on. Okay, so that's it. That's how long I want my tip to be. Okay, so I let that dry, and while that's drying, I prep my nail. Okay, I use a 150 grit. To take the shine off. Get my cuticle pusher, just push back the skin, clean it off. Okay, then I buff it carefully that I don't hurt myself. Okay, and then I brush it off. Grab a lint-free, preferably towelette. I use Synergy wipe. And I clean it off, okay? Clean my nail off to take off all dust particles. Once that's off, my nail's pretty much ready, okay? So I'm going to glue on the nail tip to my practice finger. Okay? So I put the glue on my nail tip. And I glue it onto my practice finger. We don't want any air bubbles, so I'm going to, okay, hopefully this doesn't take long to dry. And then I just apply my nail tip, put pressure, obviously. Oops, because that was too much pressure. Oh, I didn't put any glue. Again, I put my nail tip on and hold for a bit. Then once that is glued on, you will take your nail tip cutter, your scissors, your nail clipper, whatever you use to cut your tip, to cut it, okay? Let's give it a few more minutes. I'm going to be using the NSI Attraction Radiant Pink, which is very translucent, but just for demonstration purposes, I mean, that's fine. Okay, so this is the pink I'm going to be using. Okay, I'm not too thrilled about it because it's really translucent, but it's okay. So then, like I said, you take your scissors, your nail cutter, and you cut down to the size you want it. If you have part of the nail tip left over, which that doesn't have any acrylic, that's fine. Okay, because you're going to file down anyways. So now you add your primer, which in this case I'm going to use Protein Bond. You could use whatever you want. I'm currently trying out the NSI Super Bond and I'm liking it. I'm not going to say loving it yet. Liking it. We're 7 days and counting, girls. No lifting so far. I need some cuticle oil, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do, usually primer, I usually use 2 coats. I think I just used 1 right now, but it's okay. I don't think my practice finger is going to have any lifting. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply my pink on the nail bed. Obviously not touching the cuticle area and making sure it doesn't overlap with my nail tip. Okay, with the decoration I put on my nail tip. So far, you know, I know that it's not a lot of pink that I'm using because the nail is not that big. So now, once that's done, I could go ahead and encapsulate. Okay, I'm going to use this Artisan Clear. When I apply my clear, I don't like touching the cuticle area. Okay, it's not necessary. I think I just needed to encapsulate the glitter or the art. Okay, so I like to start where my nail bed meets my nail tip, and I like to press or pat down and sweep, 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 and then I sweep back towards the cuticle, which in this case it will almost touch the cuticle area, but that's fine, just for demonstration purposes. Then a little more on the tip to encapsulate everything in, and then I sweep back to meet with my previous bead, and I wait for it to dry. Okay, once that's dry, clean this up while I wait for it to dry before I make a big mess. So I wait for it to dry, okay? I don't need to touch it right now. I don't need to do anything to it. Ooh, sorry about that. So I wait for it to dry. I'll check to make sure that it's dry by tapping it. You see how it sounds hollow? It's not ready yet. Okay, so I'll give it a few more minutes while I clean up. So I'm gonna buff. I like to buff and shape with, right now I'm using the organic 100 grit, but with a 100 grit. And then I'm gonna buff with the 180. You could use, again, whatever you want. This is just what I have. This is what I use. You don't have to use the same thing. I mean, some things work for some people. Some things don't work for certain people. Okay? So let's check to see if this is ready. Do you hear that clicking noise? Well, you can probably hear my daughter making all that noise. It's almost ready. Okay? I wish I knew how to edit so we could cut down on time here. Okay. You hear the difference? Okay, so it's ready. So I'm going to grab my 100 grit file and file the sides first. I like to file, and that's how I was taught. File the sides first because it'll give you this ridge on the side, this edge that looks like it needs to be curved out, and it helps. It guides you. So then you file the front, depending if you want it squared, which in this case I'm going to do squared, or if you want it round, it's up to you. Okay? And then you smooth the sides up. smooth it up. Smooth it up. I'm not a pro, ladies, so maybe someone has an easier way to doing this. And then I just blend everything in. I have to blend my clear with my pink. Once I take off all my bumps, and it's ready. You could check it by filling it. It's pretty much ready. Just a tad bit more, and it should be ready. Okay, so now I'm going to take my, now I could still see where the clear ends. Okay, all right. I'm going to buff it up. Buff it. To make sure, get rid of all the scratches, the sides. Buff, buff, buff. Then again, with my little brush, clean it. And then again with my Synergy wipe, my lint free, I'm going to clean it off, okay? And in this case, I usually use UV top coat, but I'm using the top coat diamond from the collections. It's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby. And I just apply my top coat. And we're done. And it's up to you if you want to decorate it any other way. I mean, it's up to you. I hope you found this helpful, ladies, and that you have an awesome day. I don't know if you can see the color, but the smile line is quote-unquote perfect, and it looks good. It looks nice. I'm really proud of my mix. Here we go. All right, ladies, have an awesome day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.